Yeah, I think there's a lot of eyes on him just from the talk-up that we heard in the same way that we saw Fiber even in that last series. So we'll get things kicked off here in game 1, Ground Zero and Cringe Society. And James, I absolutely agree. From what we saw in that first series, it did feel like Cringe Society was a little bit slow coming out into it. See if they could pick things up as they get into this first game, as Torsas looking to take the first shot. The defense there, let him come all the way across, and they do make the save. Here's Drippe shepherding it back to Torsas as he does throw it to downfield for Ground Zero.
And this game off to a bit of an awkward start. Emphis, if you were paying attention, wasn't moving. He was having some controller issues at the start. It looks like he did get them sorted out. We'll see if it stays sorted out for the rest of this game.
Oh. And it looks like he is moving around just fine as he was able to pick up that ball. Here's a dangerous one for Jules as he tried to force it through 2 defenders. Now Amphis plays it back towards the top of the box. Nobody there for Ground Zero. And a big clear for Cringe Society. Is put in, and Deca's going to get credit for it.
Deca, the shot, it was a good thing that it was low. You saw Jules coming off the ceiling of his goal, perhaps thinking it was going to be a harder shot and a high shot, but it didn't pan out that way. Excellent placement by Deca, and Cringe Society take this early lead.
Yeah, and a great start here for Cringe Society. We talked about them wanting to wake up, and they certainly get the job done with the first goal. This one bouncing dangerously down. Amphis is there, still forcing it to the backboard. It's Ground Zero forced to rotate back. Here comes Torsas. He's met by Jules, still looking for that backboard. As it does come clean off, Drippe had missed the touch. He's bailed out by Torsas again. Cringe Society trying to mount some of that pressure inside of Ground Zero, but a great clear from Amphis. Express is already up, but he can't get the touch. Deca, maybe not the best clear, but with no pressure. Cringe Society get out.
And the side flip. Perhaps it was planned by Torsas because Drippe was able to come in and get that clear downfield. Now, I think Cringe Society might find themselves in a tough spot. Amphis getting this mid boost. He'll have to get a good 50 here.
Does pick it up. Deca looking for Drippe. He tried to make contact on it. Jules shut him down. Amphis throws it downfield. Jules, I don't think, could catch up to a big miss again by Drippe. Now Amphis up to carry this one. Goes under Drippe and does get the fake. Torsas bailing out his team. Still Jules trying to keep on the pressure for Ground Zero, but you're seeing Amphis work that magic.
Totally. He was going for that flip reset. I never saw him use it, so I wonder if it looked good, but I wonder if he got it there. But that was looking very good, Corelli. The air roll was on point, perfectly hitting that ball. I'm shocked that if he didn't get it, but still you can tell that Amphis has those mechanics. Hope to see him get a few more opportunities to bring him out.
Still Ground Zero sit, 1 goal down. It will be up to players like Amphis to see if they can break this Cringe Society defense. Amphis, here he comes again, picking this one up. Has boost to work with, looking for a flip reset now. Does get it over Drippe, but Torsas is there to clear things out. And he has been a brick wall for Cringe Society, where his 2 teammates have failed. Torsas has been there every step of the way.
Torsas, we're so used to him being such an offensive player, but he really is the complete package. When you're as mechanically good as Torsas is, you can just be everywhere and make those tough stops.
He's done a great job of keeping Ground Zero at bay, at least for now. Ground Zero have put up quite a few shots now, 7 to the 5 of Cringe Society. Deca will add 1 more. Torsas trying to keep the attack alive, but it's cleared out. Amphis, great first time touch to the back of the net, wide open, and it's tied up.
And you said it, Crowley. This was a great first touch. This ball was blitzing right at him, the result of a pinch between Torsas and Express. And Amphis made the most of that opportunity. And those are not the easiest to hit right dead center, especially when you are in a surprising moment where the ball's flying at you. You don't get too many opportunities like that.
And you really can't blame the defense too much for Cringe Society. I don't think anyone imagined that ball pinching off their own player to the middle of the field like that. But still, Amphis had an opportunity. 2 big misses by the defense. It's been a little shaky from Cringe Society on their own back wall. They've missed a few times. Still haven't been punished. And Cringe Society now trying to force the issue onto ground zero. That ball turned away, and Jules will chase after it onto the Cringe Society side. Amphis is up, and he's beat his man off the crossbar and in. 2 goals for him and 1 goal up for ground zero.
And this striking from Amphis really is something. You see him air rolling, hitting the corner of his car, getting the ultimate amount of power, and that one crossbar and in. Amphis, so far in game 1, he's living up to the hype. Cheeseman and Jake were talking about him, and I think their words are verified now.
Absolutely. Cringe Society have mustered up 7 shots. Amphis alone has put on 6. This ball to the back wall of ground zero. It might be Cringe Society's last chance. Drippe trying to put this one back post. Torsas cleared out the last man, but the shot just wasn't on target. And that'll do it for game 1, ground zero. Take it.
And that was a bold bump at the end. That goal line was open. Express was getting bullied out of the way, and it was so close, bouncing off the post. Cringe Society almost tied it up, but ground zero looked like the better team. We saw him, and Amphis especially, he was that X factor, Corelli, that allowed them to get both of those goals, and they were quality goals as well. The pinch that headed right towards Amphis, he reacts, hits it dead center, and then that shot crossbar down. A great game from Amphis.
Yeah, and you can see that individual skill, how it pays off for ground zero, and was able to put away a couple of great shots by himself. He got a lot of opportunity, and I think that's the key for a lot of teams that have a player like Amphis, is to give them opportunity. And he had plenty of it in this game, whether it was team play or the individual play. Feeding him the ball, having him on the ball has proved just so successful for this ground zero team.
And that's what you want. You want to put that ball in your star players' hands when they have space. And we've seen Amphis with so much space to where he could go for multiple flip resets. And he said it, Express doing some heavy lifting there with a good dribble.
He faked the musty and still able to keep possession. Here's Deca. He was the goal scorer for Cringe Society last game. The only goal that they were able to muster up. Now Drippe has Deca under him and is going to pass it down to him, and a great defensive block by Express. He's staying on this ball and tried to collect at the top of the ceiling, and Torsas comes flying through.
It looked like he might have wanted to maybe air roll and tap that with his tires and go for a double tap. That would have been an incredible play. And Express, you know, he's a player that's been around in the OCE scene for quite some time. You even think back to Season 3 Jam Gaming.
And here he is now on this ground zero squad. He was a defensive rock for him last game. There's a good demo and a shot from Torsas. They open up the net and they put it through. 1-0 Cringe Society.
Torsas, another name we're familiar with. Drippe, the backboard pass, the demo, Torsas rotating in. That is an effective use of the demo. And we saw Cringe Society in the first series of the day. That was what put them over the top against Mindfreak, was their demo game and their bump game. And so now they're able to bring it out against ground zero, see if they can hold on to the lead.
For ground zero, they have to be a bit more wary of the demo game. That first man might not be the man on the ball for too long. He might just come after you. And Cringe Society have executed it multiple times. Here's Amphis, a great flick on. Express is there, and look at the pass and setup. Express puts it home to tie it up.
Strong shot. And this was a team play as well. Jules up to Amphis. The corner pass, great shot from Express. I'm loving what I'm seeing from ground zero. I mean, Cringe Society, you know, they have those old school names, but after seeing Amphis play, you can tell maybe he's part of this next generation of OCE players that's bringing the mechanics to the next level. But Express is hanging right there with him too. I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Express.
Absolutely. And That was a great all-around team play from Ground Zero to get back into it. Deca wanted the fake, couldn't get it. Express just barrels through him. Torsos having to pop this one up. Does he get the pinch? He does, but not enough. Here's Jules. Can't get by Drippe. Deca just trying to keep it out of the center of the field right now. Ground Zero slowly advancing towards the opposition, but cut out. Deca, can he get up to this one? It's Amphis to quickly match him. Drippe's shot is going to be good, and a 1-goal lead back to Cringe Society.
A bit of panic here. Amphis jumping up for that. Maybe Express would have had a better line on that ball. I don't know, but that was a tough defensive moment for Ground Zero. Drippe, the accuracy, exactly what was needed in Drippe. You know, that kind of reminds you of the old days. Drippe was the one who was scoring almost everything, especially at Worlds.
He has cooled off, but maybe is coming back here in this major as he does get by one. Express, who else for Ground Zero to clean things up? Here's Drippe. 2 minutes left to play. Torsos trying to put another one. That's a big miss by Express. Follow-up is there from Deca. Pinches it in, and a 2-goal lead for Cringe.
Look at this ground pinch from Deca. He waits for it to hit the ground, upside down, flips around. That was crazy. 80 miles an hour. Deca, a perfectly timed ground pinch, and to get the height on that as well, that was a rare shot, Corelli.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's how you set it up every time, but he'll take it as Amphis now tries to go on his own individual way, shut down by Cringe Society, still putting on the pressure now. You're seeing their offense really start to get into a groove as Ground Zero struggle to push out from their own end in this game. Here's Jules and Amphis. They drop it back to Express. Not enough on it. Amphis forced to go all the way to his own corner. Tough bounce.
You saw Amphis trying to do a bit too much there. Breaking up the play. His teammate had the ball. Wanted to get involved. And that is something that we've seen before, especially with ultra mechanical players, Corelli, is that desire to be on the ball.
Yep. And sometimes it doesn't always work out the way they want. Express, that shot's going to go a bit wide. Less than a minute to go. That was the best look Ground Zero's had in quite a while. Torsos up to Drippe, looking for the back wall. Amphis doesn't there, and Torsos, I'm not sure if he got the called off by Deca and it was too late, but still, it was tough to read, especially not expecting the miss from a player like Amphis. Here's Express trying to force it. Amphis was there, but not enough. And coming up now on 30 seconds, Cringe Society happily carry this one down the field.
Well, that might end it. Yeah, that's in. Deca, another goal for him. This one looks like he got a bit of a pinch off the wall. No, it's just a dunk.
And I think Ground Zero wanted a better pinch than that and didn't get it. And it just goes straight into a Cringe Society player. Deca now 2 goals. 4-1 is the score. And with less than coming up now on 20 seconds left, it is basically impossible. Cringe Society have definitely run up the score. Looked a lot better in this game than in the previous game. And for Ground Zero, have definitely cooled off. It doesn't feel like they have as much command as they did in that first game. Everyone from Ground Zero was a bit quiet here.
Yeah, this was not what you'd expect from Ground Zero after seeing what they could do in Game 1. Game 2, all Cringe Society. We saw the defense in a bit of disarray at times for Ground Zero, and then up on the offensive end, some double commits that ended up costing them. So Cringe Society bounced in right back in Game 2, and I think that veteran experience really helping them out.
Yeah, I think so as well. And for Ground Zero, I think when you go into this next game, you kind of have to reset because that first game was so good from them. But you are seeing what happens when Cringe Society have command of the game. They put up 8 shots on you. They have a lot of opportunity. And I don't feel like we really called out anyone's name on Ground Zero that was generating some quality offense. Yeah, they had a good goal, their only goal. But outside of that, it felt like Ground Zero had nothing in this game.
They struggled to defend their backboard at times, which really punished them. And, you know, no discredit to Express or Jules, also some veterans of the game, but Amphis was not in his element. Game 1, he was setting the tempo. Game 2 looked to be a bit of a liability at times, going for balls that maybe he should have left for his teammates. So we'll see if they can balance it out. There's no denying that Amphis is a great player. We'll see if he can find the right mix.
We'll see if Ground Zero in total can come back here. Express trying to get the second touch. He does get 2 to go from Cringe Society, but Torsauce again there to clean things up when it got dicey for them in the midfield. Now quickly our Ground Zero trying to counter. A good demo on Drip A. Unfortunately, Deka's there to push this one down the field, and he does well to move down the sideline all the way to the other half. Here comes Drip A. His shot's gonna go just too high. Huge missed opportunity for Cringe Society.
And I think there was a team bump. I think Amphis and Express or someone had run into each other. That net was wide open. That has got to hurt.
Already 3 shots for Cringe Society, and one definitely should have fell through. Express doing everything he can to stay behind this.
Just bear hugging the ball there. Didn't seem like he wanted to let that ball go for good reason. He was right in front of the net, trying to keep that out, using everything he had.
Jules just trying to prevent Cringe Society from getting a piece of it. Torsauce, no boost. Amphis there to meet Drip A. Jules looking for this one across the box. Express gets the demo on Deka. Jules, can he drop it down? No, it's off the crossbar. A good look for Ground Zero. It was a tough one, but their best look they've had all game. And a big clear from Express now will maybe put Ground Zero back on the attack. It'll be returned by Torsauce. And Deka looking for the pass over to Torsauce. The defense from Ground Zero fighting for every inch at the moment. Cringe Society doing a good job of receiving those clears from Ground Zero and setting up passes with them.
Yeah, this is a good back and forth game. You can tell these teams well matched. And then chance to, oh, Jules, that backflip save. And OCE, Corelli is such an interesting region as well when you have 3 different teams sharing those titles. And all names that we're familiar with as well. And now getting this chance, the fall major, the international stage, and you know, all the viewership that comes along with it when you have these big events. The pressure is really on, so that clutch factor that we were talking about on the pre-show, you wonder if that'll start coming into play.
It's always interesting to see Cringe Society actually getting the goal here. A 1-0 lead for them as Express cut a bit flat-footed, does make the save, but unfortunately comes right back up to Torsauce and nobody there to bail him out. A 1-goal lead now to Cringe Society, but James, it is interesting to see something that the pre-show talked about was kind of the top 9 players are on the top 3 teams. And I think you have to say it's true from what we've seen so far here today as Drip A rips off a shot. Cringe Society, Ground Zero, Renegades all look like the best teams in OCE, and Cringe Society looking better than Ground Zero here in this game.
And we had, you know, brains versus mechanics, brain versus brawn. And right now, the brains seem to be in favor of Cringe Society. They're just playing fundamentally sound Rocket League, great challenges, the rotations are there. We did see a few missed shots, but overall, they are keeping Ground Zero in the back. There's only 2 shots now, 3 shots for Ground Zero after that attempt, and already 10 for Cringe Society. The 2-goal lead with under 2 minutes left. It's going to be tough for Ground Zero to get back in this.
Here's Amphis off the corner. Oh! He has another flip to put it through, and he cuts the lead in half.
And look at this. You said it, the flip. He gets it back right here. It bounces off the post, flips back into it.
Wow.
The presence of mind from Amphis. And that was a huge goal. That could be the momentum swinging back in favor of Ground Zero. We'll see if they can keep this going.
That's the spark that Ground Zero definitely needed to get back into it. That was a great goal by Amphis. They have 6 shots in this game. That was certainly their most dangerous. Here's Drip A on the big clear. Cringe Society, though, on the other hand, Want to get another one, get that cushion back. Torsas does get a second touch after his initial shot. Deca still fighting for it as Amphis gets a great challenge to the Cringe Society half. But Cringe Society, you know, James, they've done this a few times. They'll just return with an even bigger clear.
Yeah.
And it puts them right back into offense.
We talked about, or I exclaimed on that great block from Amphis, but then you're right. Drippe hammered that ball from his own corner all the way back down, and now Deca getting a big 50. And the angle Torsas will tuck that one in, even though it was already headed into the net. Wow, what a turnaround.
Yeah, that was a great play by Deca, but the defense of Ground Zero kind of getting sucked into the play. Everyone gravitating towards the ball. Even Express coming with such speed at the ball as that last man. Obviously wasn't expecting Deca to just plow through his teammates. And a great setup as well by Deca. That one hurts if you're Ground Zero.
Certainly does, especially after Amphis got such a powerful goal. You think that might have been enough to rev him up. But no, Cringe Society comes roaring back. And a lot of it due to those solid clears. Not only hard hit, but to areas of the field that completely kill whatever momentum Ground Zero was able to work up.
And you're seeing something that happened in the last game with Renegades is, you know, Ground Zero, they were able to stick around for a little bit. They might get one for the road. They will. Jules will get it. But to the point, Cringe Society still just putting on so many shots, something that Renegades did as well. So much opportunity. You're gonna run up the score a little bit. They get 3 goals here, but they had 12 shots in this game alone and pretty evenly spread out, I'd say. And for Cringe Society, they're up 2-1 now in the series.
And they're looking very solid. The clears are there, the passing plays, demos, bumps. They're playing just fundamentally sound Rocket League. Cringe Society playing the smarter game. You can tell Ground Zero. I would give them the check mark in the mechanics section, but right now Brain's going in favor of Cringe Society, and it's that positioning that's really helping them get these wins. Really.
There's a lot more intent behind what Cringe Society is doing. Again, very similar to what Renegades did in the previous game where they were able to bring that ball down, receive the long clears from Ground Zero. Although Cringe Society is very happy to outboom you, I will say. They are very happy to toss that ball right back up over your head and chase after it. And they've been the faster team. As we move deeper into this series, they've been picking up the pace to the point where it feels like Ground Zero haven't been able to keep up with it on that defensive third for them.
They really haven't been. The defense is thrown into a bit of a scramble, and you can tell the third man in multiple situations for Ground Zero, not quite sure when to come up, and the timing is not there, and that allows Cringe Society to get it past them and get the goal. So we'll see if the positioning can get sorted out for Ground Zero, and if Cringe Society will be able to finish this off. And another chance early, and they're gonna walk away empty-handed. Corelli, you thought that might be an early goal for Ground Zero.
Yeah, Express just had to get over that one, and it was a bit too high. So for Ground Zero, that was the opportunity to get the go-ahead goal quickly. Now they're gonna have to fight for a little bit harder. Amphis, quick one-time touch towards the net. Now Jules looking for the setup over to Express. Amphis there to meet. Express tried to get the touch. Cringe Society holding on for now. 2 go, but they do get the clear past everyone for Ground Zero. Can Torsas find the angle? He does! Past the first defender, and a 1-0 lead for Cringe Society.
Torsas, it was a battle all the way down the field, picking up pads. 0 boost. He could have gone for the corner boost, but has that killer instinct. Stays on the ball, gets the block. And now we see an early lead for Cringe Society. And they are looking solid. They had a bit of a slow start, but continuing to play better and better.
And they're putting the pressure right back on to Ground Zero. Good pass over to Torsas. He gets bumped out of the way. Now Jules Express is bumping Drippe. Can he get to the other side? He does. It was enough time for Jules to go back post on him. And we're tied up.
And with the series on the line, that is how you stabilize. Express, huge bumps on Drippe.
So tough for Drippe there, seeing how that play developed, especially getting bumped out of the way. Here's Drippe again, picking this one up, wants to carry it himself, up and over everyone. He's just going to do it all by his lonesome. And back in the lead is Cringe Society.
And I said I give the mechanics there in favor of Ground Zero. Drippe must be listening to the stream, bringing out some solo plays of his own.
And something Ground Zero has to respect, obviously. Here's Jules. See what he can do with the ball. Tried to get the flip reset, I think, but couldn't get under it enough. Express gets the bump out of the way. Amphiss is there. Express is a maniac, a bully on the field, and another goal is off of his bump.
Not only does he get the pass, jumps off the wall like a wrecking ball, hitting the defense out of the way. And this one is turning into a slugfest, Corelli.
All tied up. Drippe, and leave it for Torsas. And again, coming by himself. It certainly has been a much closer game than previous ones. Ground Zero, I think, will be happy to see it that way, especially after the previous game. Here's a shot from Drippe. It's blocked by Ground Zero. Still, Cringe Society, I think, getting the better of the defense here of Ground Zero. Express was met by Torsas, but does get the ball out, but only for a moment. Drippe.
Deca getting in the way of that. He saw Amphiss was ready to receive that pass, and it's better to just get a back pass on your own than take a risk and let Amphiss maybe go for a double tap, maybe go for a shot. And that's the smart play that I was talking about with Cringe Society. Always knowing when and where to hit that ball, and almost getting an opportunity there.
Shot down from Deca is turned away by Express. Amphiss looking for Jules. And Jules can't connect as he moves down the sideline. Drippe looking for help from Deca, but he comes in backwards. Amphiss now had opportunity, but not a lot of boost to work with. Still tied up. Cringe Society has been knocking on the door a bit more. Torsas does get the cut. Jules, as he beat, he does get the touch away, but only for a moment. Drippe looking for the corner of Ground Zero. Now Amphiss on the dribble. It's cut out by Deca. Express, his turn to go. And can only keep the ball for so long. Jules shot down. It's going to go in. A small opening for Ground Zero, and they find it.
Great strike from Jules. Gets up, shoots the ball over Torsas. You could see the defender maybe thinking they had enough time to wrap around the back of the net. There was no time. The strong shot from Jules was there far before that defender even had a hope to get there.
And a great game here for Ground Zero to respond back after the previous one. Jules, great second touch to the back wall for on the Cringe Society side. Still have to hold on to this lead for another minute and 15 seconds if they want to stay alive in the series. Here's Drippe. Has a lot of space to work with here. Gets 2-3 touches on it before he's finally cut out. Amphiss couldn't get by one. Drippe again picking up full boost and getting control. Now 45 seconds left. Ground Zero doing a great job of running out the clock. Good pass from Express, but that shot's too high from Amphiss. Jules there. Can he clean it up? It's directly at Torsas. Defense certainly tested on the Cringe Society side. Amphiss trying to put this game away with another goal. Won't be able to do so for now. Torsas, big clear, but that was all he had left in the tank. Jules trying to get away, and that's a little scary if you're on the Ground Zero side. Here's Torsas again. Jules to pick it up. He's got boost to work with, and he's going to carry this one very slowly. Burns 2-3 seconds off the clock. Express looking to kill it. He will. And Ground Zero get one back and send us to another game.
Smart play from Ground Zero at the end. really bringing out what they had to get the win, forcing the game 5. And this is what we were hoping for. Winners of the 3rd regional, Ground Zero, going up against winners of the 2nd regional, Cringe Society. We talk about the big teams in OC. These are 2 of them. This matchup, Cheeseman was telling me before we got into it that this one might be the best one we'll see all day. And so far, it is living up to that. Ground Zero, this game 5, Corelli, we're in for a treat.
It's always nice to see a team respond back like Ground Zero, especially when the previous game had gone so poorly for them. But here they are, and that was an impressive game for them. We saw Express at the bottom of the scoreboard, but man, he contributed so much with the physical play that he dished out to the Cringe Society side is what opened up this game for Ground Zero, send them to a game 5. So here they are, Ground Zero and Cringe Society in a game 5 here in the Swiss stage.
And two goals, Corelli, directly attributed to those bumps from Express. So that physical play from him, you don't get to see it, like you said. You don't see it on the scoreboard. But, man, does it make a difference.
Here's Amphis. Can't hold on to it. Torsas looking for Deca. He does meet him in midair, but didn't have the angle. And a big clear for Amphis. And for Ground Zero as they try and muster up their best attack. Amphis does a good job to cut out the initial touch by Deca. Express fighting in the corner, landing on the ball just to prevent the clear from Cringe Society, and they're forced to retreat. Amphis looking for some help, and it's a bit of a dangerous ball. Jules was a bit far back to receive that one maybe as fast as Amphis wanted. Still no harm, no foul here. Deca has a second touch. Express, big clear. They got 2 beat here on the Cringe Society side. It's up to Drippe. And with no boost, he does make the initial touch.
Oh, such good clears. Oh, the counterattack set up from this hit from Torsas. Look how quickly they turn on a dime. Off his own backboard, throwing it all the way across the field to Deca. And Ground Zero, they got caught out. That is a brilliant counterattack from Cringe Society.
Yeah, it was a little hesitation from Amphis in the midfield. He didn't know if he could get to the initial ball that came across the net, or the field rather, or if he was going to play the touch. He decided to play the touch, but at that point, he was the last man back. And so Ground Zero get beat. Tried to make up for it there with that shot. Jules has Express waiting. It does come out to him. But unfortunately, he's just got to bang it against the wall. Jules wants to go under Deca. Deca's having none of it. Torsas gets by 1, can't get by the rest of Ground Zero. Here's Amphis, blocked by Drippe. Express wanted to keep some midfield control, but Torsas just dunks him out of the way. This ball played up into the box. And Ground Zero struggling to stay with it, and a big miss by Express. This lets Deca come through. Can he get over it enough? He does, but a big save from Jules. Torsas to put it away, and a 2-goal lead now for Cringe Society.
Oh, that miss from Express, that's going to haunt him, and that might be the reason why they lose this series. We'll see how close it gets, but that miss has to feel terrible for Express.
So a 2-goal lead now open up for Cringe Society. I think this series has been very close. Almost a 3rd goal. Deca's going to put it away. It will be 3 for Cringe Society. They pull away.
Yeah, it looks like the wheels are starting to fall off for Ground Zero. That tough miss from Express. Now a goal immediately following the kickoff. Cringe Society up 3-0. We're approaching the halfway point with how close that this series has been and how hard it's been for these teams to score at times. This is going to be such a difficult situation for Ground Zero to come back from. We'll see what they're made of now. That was nasty.
That was amazing. Look at this light touch to keep possession. Just the smallest touch. And instead of passing, he's going to go for the shot, back post and down. Used his flip perfectly.
And he even got a touch off the wall as well. A light touch off that wall, Corelli. That is ultimate finesse. It's tough to tap the ball that lightly.
Yeah. Yeah, that really was, I think, the most impressive part about that shot was that initial touch to gain possession. That's so hard to do. And he nails it perfectly. Like you said, James, it feels like the wheels are starting to fall off for Ground Zero. Cringe Society have just proved to be a bit too much here in this game. They have certainly outshot them here in multiple games. And it feels like Cringe Society have just been a bit better overall when it comes to the attacking side of things. Ground Zero's defense started to get a little bit dicey at times. Caught out a few times in the midfield as well. Didn't know where to go. And it was just this onslaught of attack from Cringe Society that ultimately broke them down. Demos coming out. Clear from Jules. If Ground Zero are going to get back into this game, they need to start scoring some goals in the next few seconds or so, because you got a long way to go. You want to get onto those kickoffs. It's not about just scoring the first one. It's about getting the next couple as well. Quickly off kickoff is what you'd want.
Yeah, we're going to have to see a goal and then a kickoff strategy or something to even make this game possible. But, oh, then Jules, that was a good idea going for the corner pass, but he accidentally hit the double, breaking up any opportunity. I saw Express, he was looking for that rebound on the first bounce and did not expect that second touch, and that's going to waste even more time off the clock. And Cringe Society, when you talk about that clutch factor, you know, it really does seem like Cringe Society has it. There's a reason that they got to the finals every single regional. These guys up there near the top, if not at the top.
Yep, they've looked good. And that one might actually find it for Amphis, maybe too little too late. And unfortunately for Ground Zero, I think they are going to drop this series. There's a lot of promise in this team. I mean, they're one of the best teams in OCE, no doubt. This was a game 5 against Cringe Society, but unfortunately, this game got away from them. I think it was game 2 that got away from them as well. So for Ground Zero, how do you prevent these games that just load up the scoring for the opposition? How can you keep it a bit closer and give yourself a chance to stay in it? As they certainly weren't able to make the comeback in this one. 6 seconds left of the clock. Express not even able to break 100 points here in this game. Actually, no, he does get 100 right at the end.
Right at the end.
The last touch gave him 100 points. He got a clear or something, but it doesn't matter. Cringe Society able to come out on top in 5 games. And, you know, we talked about the slow start, but I think they looked pretty good throughout. And Ground Zero gave them a good run for their money. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people would think that Cringe Society overall are the better team, and they proved that here.
Oh, certainly. And I thought Torsos had some great moments. You know, he was one of the players mentioned as mechanical, and he showed that again this game with those finesse touches to be able to get that goal in this game. That was just beautiful. So Torsos, Cringe Society looking very good. And that's enough for them to move on to the playoff round, which we'll be seeing tomorrow. But Ground Zero still going to have to get one more win.
Yep, like you said, Renegades and Cringe Society now are through. Renegades the first seed, of course, after they beat Gaming Gamers. Like you said, Ground Zero not out of it yet. They moved to 2-1. We'll probably see another one of their games later on. But we got to go to a quick break. When we come back, we've got more OCE Rocket League coming up.